Hello, readers of Every Word, and welcome to Every Word 365. I'm your host, Christina Madsen, and today we're reading 1 Kings 9 through 11. Straddling the proverbial fence may be desirable when an issue is still in question, but once the proper course of action is clear, fence straddling can be dangerous, even deadly. Take an issue on which you are straddling the fence and search the scriptures until God's mind on the matter is clear to you. Then decide what, with God's help, you can do in the next week to declare which side you're on. And that is, of course, from today's My Daily Walk. It's always amazing to me that one of the wisest men of all time could turn from God. Very sad, really, which is why I call this wisdom alone is not enough. This is 1 Kings 9, 8 through 9, and though this temple is impressive now, all who pass by will be appalled and will gasp in horror. They will ask, why did the Lord do such terrible things to this land and to this temple? And the answer will be, because his people abandoned the Lord their God, who brought their ancestors out of Egypt, and they worshipped other gods instead and bowed down to them. That is why the Lord has brought all these disasters on them. So, does this still happen today? Well, the truth is, I don't know. We don't know. But I would say that there are definitely terrible things happening all over the world, right? And that we as a society have definitely abandoned God from time to time, right? Just some food for thought. I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm saying go to the Bible, search for it, talk to God about it, and see what you think. If you were intrigued by the story of Queen of Sheba, I'm including a little bit more info for you from Got Questions, of course. And then we get to Solomon's sins. I'm always struck by the fact that one of the wisest men of all time still couldn't resist the temptation of sin. What a great reminder that we certainly need to pray for wisdom, but wisdom alone is not enough. This is 1 Kings 11, 1 through 3. Now King Solomon loved many foreign women. Besides Pharaoh's daughter, he married women from Moab, Ammon, Edom, Sidon, and from among the Hittites. The Lord had clearly instructed the people of Israel, you must not marry them because they will turn your hearts to their gods. Yet Solomon insisted on loving them anyway. He had 700 wives of royal birth and 300 concubines. And in fact, they did turn his heart away from the Lord, just like God said they would. Just that reminder of we all have our sin nature. So you can be wise, you can be really smart, you can know a lot about something, or you can know a lot about everything. But if you still have sin nature, you can still give in to that sin nature, just like Solomon did. So what can we learn from the life of Solomon? Here are some great lessons from gotquestions.org on the life of Solomon and what we can learn, including this. There are many lessons we can learn from the life of Solomon. First, when we seek God with all our heart, he will be found. That's, of course, in 1 Kings 3, 3 through 7. Second, those who honor God will be honored by him. 1 Kings 3, 11 through 13, and 1 Samuel 2, 30. Third, God will equip us to accomplish the tasks he calls us to if we rely on him. That's in 1 Kings 3, Romans 12, 3 through 8, and 2 Peter 1, 3. Fourth, the spiritual life is a marathon, not a sprint. A good start is not always enough to finish well. 1 Kings 3 and 11. Fifth, we can sincerely ask God to incline our hearts toward him. That's in 1 Kings 8, 57, 58. But we will wander off the path of righteousness if we choose to violate his revealed word. Contrary to God's written word concerning kings, Solomon multiplied to himself gold, horses, and wives, 700 wives and 300 concubines. He also married non-Jewish wives. Sixth, those closest to us will affect our spiritual lives, and we must therefore be very careful of the company we keep. Seventh, life lived apart from God will be meaningless, regardless of education, fulfilled goals, the greatest of pleasures, and the greatest abundance of wealth. Again, that's from Got Questions, and I think such great lessons for all of us to learn. It's important to be wise, but wisdom alone is not enough. Tomorrow is 1 Kings 12 through 16. Happy reading!